Enyobeni Tavern owners are expected to appear in the East London Magistrate's Court today, and it's in connection with the deaths of those 21 underage young people at the establishment. That happened in June of last year. The accused previously pleaded not guilty to contravening the Liquor Act. But let's get you an update now. Newzroom Afrika's Siphosethu Booi joins us live from outside court ahead of that appearance. Siphosethu, it's hard to think that it's just 10 months since the Enyobeni tragedy. Give us a sense of where we are now as we go into trial today.
Well, good morning to you, Michelle, and I must make mention of the fact that just the 26th of June of 2022 is a day that many South Africans will remember. That's where the 21 young people passed away at a tavern called Enyobeni in Scenery Park. And where we are sitting currently is families of these young 21-year-old minors who passed away that day, seeking justice for the passing of their children. You remember that there were different outcomes in terms of what could have been the cause of death for these 21 young teens. First, it was reported that it could have been chemical poisoning, but later on that was also scrapped up, and we saw reports coming out stating that it was, of course, the issue of just being in one space, suffocation. So many of those parents of those 21 young people were angry with regards to the reports, also claiming that they did not receive the reports, the detailed reports in paper, Michelle. Just to go through that, you'll remember that this particular issue was very traumatic, not only for the families, but including the young people that survived that particular day. You know, in situations like these, Michelle, we always focus on the families, and we really actually now also need to listen to what exactly could have happened, as many of these families are still probably questioning those young people who survived that day, just to get closure in terms of what could have possibly happened, what could have possibly been the cause of death of their children, as they seek justice for their deaths. And of course, we'll be seeing some of those families today, and also hearing from the defense attorneys of the two accused, Yokazi and Siakangela Ndevu, here in East London, Michelle.
Yeah, and insofar as, you know, those questions are concerned, Siphosethu, it's important just to note for the sake of our viewers that we still don't really have a concrete cause of death, right? The autopsy, what it revealed was that chemical poisoning could be the cause of death, but the families don't have any real closure.
They will never have closure, Michelle, until the people in charge or the people behind the deaths of their children are brought to book. As long as the parents don't have the reasons behind what could have possibly been the real cause of death behind the deaths of those 21 young people in Enyobeni, those families will never get closure. Even the friends of those young people that lived the trauma, the day where they saw their friends. I remember one story of one young person saying that two of her friends passed away while she was carrying them, as they were screaming and asking for help, and many of them just sleeping their dead, and some even waking up with sore bodies, bruised bodies, just hearing from the people who were watching them that they've been passed out for nearly 3 hours now. So that particular day, the 26th of June, is one that many parents, including parents that didn't have children that were there that day, say that every time when it's almost June or the end of the year, they worry because young people do celebrate that particular event called Pens Down. So parents have been quite vigilant, and of course the SA Liquor Board also coming out to schools, introducing programs where they speak about the dangers of alcohol consumption to young people. You will remember also the calls for the underage drinking to be lifted to 21 because of that particular day of the 26th of June here in East London, Enyobeni, Michelle.
So what's happening in court today, Siphosethu?
Well, from what we understand, Michelle, is that the trial is set to start today. That's where we will hear the defense argue the innocence, or rather how these particular accused, Mr. Ndevu and Mrs. Ndevu, played a part in this particular case, if whether or not they should be brought to book with regards to what happened to those 21 young people. That's where we will also be seeing and meeting some of the parents, just to find out from them how they feel about this particular day. Are they happy that they're back here in court today, and if whether or not they do have confidence to the South African legal system, that they'll be brought to book, the people who are now currently being accused of the deaths of those 21 young people in Enyobeni. Michelle.
Siphosethu, Booi, there ahead of that court appearance. Thanks very much indeed.